Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Let's Play CABAL Online. This is part 8. We're going to be running the Lake in the Dusk, the game's first major dungeon, which is unlocked at level 55, but we've been delaying it because we didn't have a reason to do it until this point. And it's also very hard to do it at lower levels because of the ruins in the Dusk, which we'll get to. Anyways, so we're going to get the map part from Morrison, who's also going to give us the story behind the dungeon. The lake that dwells in the dusk. Alright, so he wants us to go talk to Green Despair Officer, which we all need to talk to anyway for our rank up quest. So let's get moving. Oh, also I want to mention I switched out my epaulette for a titanium epaulette of Guardian, because we're going to need the extra defense for this dungeon, because we don't have access to anything better yet, so... Also, very, 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 very soon, in the next few levels, actually, we'll be switching out to an osmium set, so get prepared for that. Anyways, let's get the story behind this dungeon. Have you, by chance, ever seen the warp gate at the nest of the Mosscutter Queens? Though it's been there before the establishment of Green Despair, it is not known how to enter it and where it leads. According to the recent discoveries, one can enter if one has a piece of a map. Piece of a map? I've heard that it can be obtained on the occasion in undead ground, and if it is taken to the warp gate at the nest of the Mosscutter Queen, it's said that surprisingly, it will place you right in the middle of the Ingriff Mountains of the continent Huan. To the Ingriff Mountains. Amidst the predominantly desert habitat, the Ingriff Mountains intersect the continent. It's said that it holds a thick forest that is near tropical in climate. In the middle of the forest, there is a vast lake. People call it the Lake of Overrun Dusk, or Lake in Dusk. The Lake in Dusk. Although there are many old records passed down from the Honorable Age, it is still a question of whether this lake truly exists, and if so, how to get there. Though there was no way to find out in the past, this has changed with the discovery of the warp portal here in Green Despair. It wasn't something that was suddenly discovered in one day. Instead, its location was finally pieced together based on various records left behind from the Honorable Age. Though some scholars asserted that it was an extension of the Red Jungle to the continent Huan, this occasion has sparked renewed debate concerning the theory. The red mutation of the forest of the Tree of Life here in the continent pasture is said to be dead in the nymphs that live in that lake in the Ingriff Mountains. These nymphs are demons representative of the Phantasmal clan. Nymphs living in the lake? According to various reports, the nymphs that live in the lake possess lethal beauty that they use to seduce humans, leading to their deaths. With the recent discovery of the warp portal that leads to the Lake in the Dusk, a folk song that has been passed from person to person has garnered renewed interest. Folk song. It's said to be a song that the nymphs that live there used to sing. The content is roughly as follows. In that lake, where the sun never set, after the departure of someone who the nymphs trusted and followed, a darkness settled in. With nightfall, the number of demons increased, damaging the lake. It said the nymphs took to hiding in a tower in the middle of the lake. A tower in the middle of the lake. While inside, the nymphs summoned some other strong demons to provide protection, and so it's said that this tower has turned into an extremely dangerous. Perhaps due to the fact that the one they wait for is human, they catch everyone who comes close and check the identity. If the unfortunate person is not one of whom they wait, he or she is immediately put to death. Not befitting their names as nymphs, they're quite savage, don't you think? What person are they waiting for? Anyways, at this matter, it has led to the reopening of various research related to the Lake in the Dusk. It seems that there has been increase in fighters who have obtained a map fragment that allows them to transport there. As such words have reached here, if you are interested, would you like to have this? As it turns out, among the various items of research that came in, there's one of these left over. The Lake in the Dusk is a frightening place that runs counter to its romantic name. If you happen to go there, be careful. Alright, and let's get our quest for our next rank up test, which asks us to go into the Lake in the Dusk, so that's what we're going to do. Your 7th rank up test, you need to defeat Hound SO1s in Fort Runa and Orcs in Lake in the Dusk. So let's go. To get to the Lake in the Dusk, you need to go to the warp portal over here, which is also the warp portal for Mutant Forest. And your dungeon entry item is called a map part. So you can unlock this dungeon at level 55, but it's not recommended to go there until around level 60 to 70. I don't recommend till level 70 because of one mob in particular that has extremely high defense that you most likely won't be able to damage until you get, you know, a decent weapon and some higher level skills. So just bear that in mind. Anyways, we're going to head over there right now. There's a bot over there, of course. And we're going to get started with this dungeon. This is the first of 3 dungeons, and we will have to run Lake in the Dusk a few more times in the future, but we're not going to really, we're not going to record those because it's boring, frankly. So, here we are at the entrance, and we have the Lake in the Dusk. So, let's get started. For these dungeons, I am not going to talk, so it's just going to be the game. So, enjoy. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was Lake in the Dusk. So, one interesting thing I saw in there that we did get, so this dungeon mostly drops Shadow Steel and Aramid stuff. It can drop Titanium and very rarely Shadow Titanium. But this little thing right here, 600% 2-slot item drop rate, huh? Interesting. Other than that, not really much else good we got out of that. A couple medium force cores, but I'm upgrading force cores. But other than that, not really anything spectacular. Which is a shame, but I mean, that it is what it is. Now we're going to level these up. And with that, that's it for part 7. Tune in next time, and we'll continue the story.